Just back from the store with a 6 of Resilience IPA from Sierra Nevada. There's a sad but great story behind this beer. You probably know some of the story. Horrific, devastating fires hit Northern California in November 2018, killing dozens of people and animals and destroying whole communities. Sierra Nevada's California headquarters was in the path of the fire but was spared. Unfortunately, many of their team members, families, and neighbors were not so lucky. They left their homes for work that day and had no home to return to at the end of it. Sierra Nevada quickly devised a plan to help those affected, doing what they do best, brewing. They would brew a beer. 100% of the sales of that beer would go to the Campfire Relief Fund to aid those in need after the fire. They seeded the fund with $100,000 and called out to the brewing industry, their colleagues and competitors, to donate ingredients, time, and labor to brew and sell their own batches of the IPA they named Resilience Butte County Proud. At this time, more than 1,500 breweries have signed on to the project that is now expected to raise more than $15 million. It has been an amazing show of support and unity in the brewing community as suppliers donated grain and malts, others waived freight costs, and of course the breweries brewed and sold the beer. In Virginia, more than 50 breweries have participated so far. This is the story of one of them, Phase 2 in Leesburg, Virginia. Phase 2 is as nano as you want to get when you are a nano brewery.
We don't even call ourselves a nano brewery. We're a micro, mini, very tiny nano brewery.
Owners Kathy and Rob Fry had celebrated their grand opening only a few months prior to the fires when the Sierra Nevada Resilience IPA appeal went out to the brewers. But they knew immediately they wanted to participate.
Well, we were taken by the fact that there were so many people that were affected by the campfire, and we were really delighted to be invited to help out in a way that we can do. We're a small brewery, but we think every little bit helps. We applaud Sierra Nevada for the idea. We think the crowdfunding aspect of it is phenomenal, and it's just good to be able to help.
We joined Kathy and Rob as they brewed their first batch of Resilience IPA. At this point, you may be thinking, why is this a story? Sierra Nevada asked some brewers to brew some beer, raise some money for their fund to help those in need. So they did it. But there's so much more to the story than that. And I think once you see what went into it, you'll realize just what a huge effort it was by 1,500 or more breweries to make this happen. When you listen to Rob describe the thinking that went into the decision to participate in this program, you realize this is more than just saying, hey, let's brew some beer and raise money for some people. There's a lot that goes into this.
So the logistics were the question. It wasn't a question of whether or not we should do this. It was, all right, how are we going to do this? How do we fit it into the brewing schedule? How much can we actually make? How much could we actually contribute to this effort? And determined that we could sign up for one barrel and dedicate a third of our tap space to this effort. And from there, it was just, let's do it.
Yes, you heard that right. A third of their tap space. Between Thanksgiving and New Year's, a fledgling company in their first quarter of business, and they're giving up a third of their tap space.
And there's also a certain rhythm to every brewery. You have a lineup for several months out at a time, and something like this, it will pull you away from your schedule. So there's a certain amount of juggling that you have to do in order to fit this beer in and to decide what else you can take off your list for the future, and how you can keep your patrons happy with the idea that, no, that favorite of yours has got to go away for a little bit. It's a juggling act.
And they gave the level of effort and attention they would give to one of their own brews. It was impressive to watch. So Rob, you're treating the water?
Yep, doing water treatment to try and match the Chico, California water profile.
You could have used your local water without treating it, but you decided to go.
You could have used your local water without treating it, and that would give different characteristics, local characteristics to each variety of it. But Sierra Nevada had said, try and do this as close as you can to our recipe. So adding a couple of grams of gypsum. Let's see, what do I need? I need 7 grams of gypsum.
Meanwhile, our kettle is working on coming up to 212, coming up to boil. See the crust? That's where we're getting our hop break. In brewing, we need to drive off various chemicals, things like chlorine and chloramine and DMS. So we always want to get a really nice, vigorous boil. And that's pretty. That's what we're looking for. Second hop. And as silly as it seems, we do like to tether them, which enables us to be able to pull them out when we need to. We also bag our hops because we try to eliminate some of the debris that in this unit could clog the pump.
And is the first hop staying in?
Yes, hops are cumulative, especially in this recipe. We'll add some more hops in the fermenter. When we do that, that's called dry hopping. And this recipe does have some dry hop in it. Our first hop gives us bitter. Later, at this stage, when we're about halfway through the boil, that hop gives us flavor. In the very end, if we whirlpool hops, or if we dry hop, we are getting aroma. And that's where the carbonation really comes into play, because the bubbles literally take the hop aroma and push it up your nose as you're leaning into the glass. It's all very purposeful.
Kathy is known for getting creative with her brewing recipes. So I asked her if she could change anything, would she, with the Sierra Nevada Resilience IPA?
No, I pretty much like this recipe. This is fairly much a simple, classic IPA recipe. Our IBUs in this are nice, but not going to be overpowering. I think this is going to be a really nice beer. If it were my beer, I may throw something crazy in here like hibiscus. I may do something that comes out of our kitchen, just to put a little twist on it. As it is, we like how it's turning out so far.
We were mountain biking near Chattanooga, Tennessee, when Phase 2 released their first batch of Resilience IPA. But we made it out to Phase 2 when their second batch became available, and we caught up with Kathy at the taps.
It's been well received. We've had a lot of folks checking it in on Untapped, which is always good for us. We've had a bunch of folks who have come just like us with growlers. It's a great, easy drinker. It's a little bit of an old school IPA, but I think people are kind of ready for that. It's a nice change from some of the stuff we have out now. It's a good reminder of why we liked all those old school IPAs in the first place. We're happy to do our part at Phase 2 in Brew Loco, and it's a wonderful beer. So we're glad that Sierra Nevada gave us the recipe, and hope everything goes for the best here.
What does that mean? Oh yeah, right, the reason this was all being done, the reason this beer was brewed, was to raise money to help people who were devastated by the fires in Northern California. Or as Kathy put it.
One of the things that really struck me early on in this is that when 9/11 happened, I'm from New York, and I'm from New York City, and that was a very personal event. We had a saying that emerged from all of that, which was, if you see something, say something. Well, fast forward to today, and a decade and a half plus later, what we're really looking at is, if you see something, do something. And it's different. We can influence the recovery effort here. We can do that in a very positive and involved way. It's not just stroke a check. It's not just throw $1 in the bucket. We can have a part in this recovery, and we can help push it along. So if you see something, say something, absolutely. If you see something, do something, even better. So thanks, Sierra Nevada.
See something, do something. And here's how you can do something. Down below in the comments, I have the link to the Campfire Relief Fund. Or you can go to Sierra Nevada's website, where you can find that link, along with a list of all the brewers who have participated so far, and who may still be selling the beer somewhere near you. Also check your retailer, where you can go out and buy some of these 6-packs. In either way, you can find a way to help out and bring relief to people who were devastated by this fire. I want to thank Kathy for inviting Trails to Ales out as she and Rob brewed their first batch of Resilience Butte County Proud IPA. It was great to be part of the brewing process and to learn more about Sierra Nevada's program. And ultimately, so we can do our small part to bring attention to the relief fund for those who were affected by the campfire. Well, we've reached the point that we usually say ride fast and drink slow. But this time, let's ride fast and drink Resilience Butte County Proud IPA.